Remember the law, kingdom is ours. Dragon is raw, we coming for all. Nations gon' fall, get ready for war. Strong in the Lord, and if I fall, then pick up my sword, you killing them all. Blood on the floor, get ready for war. Rah, rah, 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 get ready for war.
This is the day we prepared. The time is coming, you scared? Pass me the sword of advance. I do me in blood everywhere. Father, teach me your ways before the Lord takes you away. Told me be bold like a lion. This is a war, somebody dying. Never give up, never give in. This is a fight, we're destined to win. Strike the enemy, aim for the head. Pay their eyes, another again. Hit him again and again, again and again. I can't show no mercy. The people we gotta defend, give them 100%. Gotta be worthy. I know that you're listening. You must remain humble and disciplined. You must keep the hunger and vigilance and execute punishment vengeance. I must apply when I'm older. Know that the time's getting colder. Pushing this weight on my shoulders. Get light with the sword of the host. Remember, my avenger. You're a fighter, a defender. For your father, a contender. For the body and its members. Listen as you teach, I meditate. Until we walk through heaven gates. I'm ready to fight, won't hesitate. For the Lord, my life, I'ma dedicate.
Dedicate, then you will elevate. Remember your Father in heaven, no surrogate. Sharpen your sword on the storefront in heaven. Remove all that leaven, get ready, don't hesitate. We in the battle, skedaddle or detonate. Remember your stock, get it poppin', then decimate. We are the sons of the prophets, no featherweight. Feel for this battle, revive what they desecrate.
I'm ready for war, ready to bloody my sword. Ready to kick in the door, ready forever. The devil been bringing, I seen that you did it, I'm ready to soar. I'm packing my Bible, got everything with me. I willing to give me, I heard it before. I gotta put in this work for my people. Then I ain't cause I'm ready to roar.
You ready to roar? Ain't for his head. Nah, it ain't dead if his blood isn't shed. Bet he gon' pay for the day when he begged him to raise and he raised off our faces instead. Woo! Fire from heaven, no threats. Edom gon' need him a rest. Sword through his crest. Call her relieving my stress. We end in his name nonetheless.
I am a son of a leader. I'm trying to park me a Peter. I heard what you said, but these demons ain't ready. I don't need a mic, I need readers. Ready to battle whatever, whoever can get it. Let's think of what Bishop he needs. To pull up and beat her the block, cause you know that this time and these heathens can never defeat us. We are the leaders.
Wait, hey, boy, you gon' have your day. Swinging and slinging that sword. Better remember that it cut both ways. Better fix your face, cause this race ain't cake. Yeah, be humble, don't step out your place. Your patience possessing your soul. Remember, don't focus, the king on the way.
The king on the way, and I can't wait. All of these heathens gon' vacate. We coming with vengeance, so Lord put up in we giving new meanings to May. They pull up and shut up whoever is tripping. Submitting my victim with scriptures, they give them the business, no kidding, I'm ready. Ready ain't nothing, I'm petty, I'm slicing up better than Eddie.
Remember the law, kingdom is ours. Dragon is raw, we coming for all. Nations gon' fall, get ready for war. Strong in the Lord, and if I fall, then pick up my sword, you killing them all. Blood on the floor, get ready for war. Rah, rah, 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 get ready for war.
Prepare for war, gather round for the dedication. Prayers to the Lord, trumpet sound in the dedication. Heed and devour with their lies and abominations. Prepare for war, gather round for the dedication. Prepare for war, gather round for the dedication. Prayers to the Lord, trumpet sound in the dedication. Heed and devour with their lies and abominations. Prepare for war, gather round for the dedication.
In a world hanging by the threads of chaos and despair, the Almighty has spoken. He calls his chosen, those who bear his divine might, his saviors. A blinding burst of golden light engulfs the celestial warriors. They are transformed into celestial avatars of power and grace, their armor shivering with celestial energy. Gifted with unimaginable strength, wisdom, and courage, they descend from the heavens to earth to protect, to inspire, as they prepare to go all in.
You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Going in, going all in. Going all in. I'm going in, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Reality said it, no longer a babe in this truth, I'm his minister. This work that I put in, these hours I spend ain't enough, I'm his prisoner. Raised from the blood of the men that they sin, but found grace in the one that can pull us out. A true prophet never backs down. I lose it all and come back down. Ran with the best, I won't settle for minuscule. Lord showed us more than this physical. Least unto life, so we fight what I might. And this mission is clear, more than literal. Seen a lot of men break from what I've been through. He rated died, he ain't in his truth. All gas, no brakes, what the red do? I ain't missing no blitz like you weak Jews. Never needed you. Come from a cloth that was knit in this war. Lord, keep your hand on my sword. Shield me from evil while I deal with Edom. Lay hands on my enemies for their reward. Lift up your prophets through you, we not stopping. Your watchmen were blind, but we not anymore. Lacy your grace, we contend for this faith. We acknowledge our faith, we was born for this war. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Going in, going all in. Going all in. I'm going in, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. All in, poker face, no bluff. Finna lock down the streets, no cuff. Divorce from the lies, get your doctrine broke up. Get my elders, they flowers, look how we rose up. So tough, blood cold as a warrior named David. I don't play games, but my God play favorites. We dangerous. The game's language, plus we angles, we targets. Walking around aimless. There's war at your front door, bombs about to dump on. You scared to die then, what did you come for? The world in the uproar, what would I run for? Life on the line, homie, what would I front for? It's gonna be a mosh, but the enemy of God getting stomped in. The energy is masculinity and it's toxic. Weak nigga, y'all can't stop me, cause it's God just trying to box with. Going all in, taking heed, giving diligence to my calling. In these streets, giving sight to the blind, willing to die about mine. What's a guide to a coffin? Cause precious in his sight, on his path, yeah, endurance is a plight, so I stand for this fight. Yeah, let me go and say it twice, willing to die about mine, so I'm following Christ. So we rolling through the four corners, looking for the Lord's chosen, bringing back the understanding to all of the ones broken. Yeah, Edom gon' pay for all of the ones stolen, missiles loaded. Yeah, whipping international teeth. Bombs dropping, all the heathens flee. From bombs for bloody garments, what you'll see when it's black boots and smashing teeth. Yeah, we applying pressure. Yeah, give a damn about the world or the diamonds and pearls up in heaven is where I be laying treasure. Yeah, we on the front line. Yeah, we on the front line. Boots strapped up when it's wartime. So if you scared, wear a skirt, ground shake when them boots hit the dirt. You going all in. That I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Going in, going all in. Going all in. Going in, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. I'm Officer Asa, and we back with another lesson. Today's lesson is destruction of a double life. That's today's lesson. We're going into that because some of us, we think we can be two different people, and you cannot. You have to choose. What life are you going to live? Get the first video, this first clip. Let's get right into it. We ain't going to waste no time. Let's go.
Our lives are short. A lot of what I like to talk about is all of us working on the inner man. I want to tell you something. Bishop always says that we all lie. We all have a second life. And who was at the men's conference last year? I show a hand. Look, so many men. Does anybody know what I talked about last year? Integrity, right? A big part of who we are and Build a Nation is us having integrity. In our personal lives, when the cameras are off, when it's nobody there, it's just you. Are you who you say you are? It's too much work to be two different people. The reason I say that for is in building back a nation, it has to be a holy nation. It has to be honorable men, honorable women, righteous children coming up. If we want to reverse the curses that has us in bondage to this day, it begins with each individual one of us being that best example we can be.
Okay, so you may ask yourself why that clip. What Bishop Kanai said is heavy. We need to ask ourselves that question. Are we who we say we are, who we profess to be? Many of us on the street, we mighty, but is that you behind closed doors? Many sisters, you appear to be this changed woman. Is that you behind closed doors? Get Philippians 2 and 12.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 12.
Read.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not only in my presence only, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Read it again from the top.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only.
Read that part again.
As ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only.
Not in my presence only. Many of us, we put that mask on when we up in here. But is you that person when you are outside of here? Are you that righteous person that you profess to be? Or are you somebody else when you're not inside the sanctuary? Are you a nigga when you're not in here? Are you a whore when you're not in here? Are you a whoremonger when you're not here amongst us? That's a question that only you can answer. Read on.
But now, much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
He said, you've always obeyed, but much more in my absence. That's what that clip was about. Being who we say we are when the cameras and the lights are off, when you don't have this purple on for the men that are in rank. For you sisters, when you don't got the garment on, are you that man and woman that you profess to be? Or do you have a secret hidden life that you live? From there, get 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. We're going to hit these quick scriptures. 1 Corinthians 10 and 21.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of cup of devils.
Read it again from the top.
Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Read.
Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
What is that saying? You can't serve God and Satan. Read it one more time.
Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
You cannot serve God and Satan. I'm saying it again. You cannot be two different people. That's what Bishop Kanai was just talking about. The same person that you profess to be when you're here, that needs to be you when you're not in here. But many times, you see over time, you find out this person somebody totally different when they ain't here because you trying to live two lives. Bishop said all the time, it's too much work trying to be two different people. From there, get Matthew 6:24. A lot of y'all just be up here playing games, but it's more to that. It's more to that. It's more to it than just you playing games. It's something else deeper, and we're going to touch on it. Read.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
Read it again from the top.
No man can serve two masters.
No man can serve two masters. That don't even make sense. You can't say I'm worshiping this master over here and this one. You got to pick. Read.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Either you going to hate one of those masters and love the other. That's how it go. You can't love both. Read.
Or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Yet cannot serve God and mammon.
Read that bottom part again.
Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
You can't serve God and some other entity. You can't serve God and Satan. What is that saying? You cannot play both sides. That's what that's saying. From there, get 1 Kings 18:21. You cannot play both sides, brothers and sisters. You got to pick. Are you on the side of righteousness or sin? You got to pick. We say that in the world. I don't like nobody that play both sides, but you doing it. You at camp teaching, bringing out the fire, but you smashing thoughts on the side. You a sister, you in the body, you on offices, but you trying to set up sneaky links with your ex-boyfriend. These is things that you hear about going on. Or you just a full-blown whore when you not here. With a dress with fringes on. You have to pick a side. 1 Kings 18:21.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 18 and verse 21.
Read.
And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long how ye be between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him.
Read it again from the top.
And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long how ye be between two opinions?
He said, how long halt ye between two opinions? Why are you stuck between what to choose? It should be simple. Life, everlasting life, death, eternal damnation. But you're halted between two opinions. But a lot of y'all, you trying to have both. You want to come up in here, be amongst everybody, and then you the devil when you not here. You can't do that. Read on.
If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him.
You have to pick a side. I'm going to say it again. Revelation 3:15. It's too much work trying to be two different people. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to quote the bishop from the clip. It's too much work trying to be two different people. You got to lie about where you're going. You got to lie about where you went. You got to disguise what method of communication you use. You on WhatsApp. You on TikTok Messenger. You on Instagram DM, Facebook DM. You think you're getting crafty. You using emails. All of this lying and deceit, that's too much work. Just go in the world. Why even put on this facade? We're going to get into the psyche in a minute. Revelation 3:15.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
Christ said, I know your spirit. You're not cold or hot. Meaning what? You're not on fire for God, nor are you just full-blown wicked. Read.
I would thou wert cold or hot.
I wish you was one or the other. I wish you was all the way on fire for the Lord, for me, or a straight demon. I wish you was one or the other. I wish you just picked a side. That's what Christ's saying. This is Christ talking. He said, I wish you would just pick a side. Read.
So then, because thou art lukewarm.
Because you're lukewarm, meaning what? You're playing both sides. That's what you're trying to do. You in the middle. You on a fence. So Christ said, because you playing both sides, read,
Neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
he's going to kill you. Guess what? We don't like when people play both sides, neither do Christ. Pick a side. So he said, because you're lukewarm, he's going to kill you. That's what we don't understand. From there, get 2 Chronicles 19 and verse 1. Either you wicked or you righteous. Take a pick. Take a pick. You can't be in here with this phony facade, but you are somebody else. You can't do that. And it's going to lead to your destruction for you men and women that think you can live like this. Read that, 2 Chronicles 19 and 1.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 19 and verse 1.
Read.
And Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, returned to his house in peace to Jerusalem. And Jehu, the son of Hanani, the seer, went out to meet him and said to King Jehoshaphat, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord? Therefore is wrath upon thee from before the Lord.
You can't love the wicked and the righteous. You got to pick a side. So the same message is being brought to you. You have to pick a side. Is it going to be wickedness or righteousness? Because you can't be up here you putting a whole Steven Spielberg Marvel comic book movie up in here. Everybody think you this person that you say you is when you come here, but you somebody else. That's too much work. From there, let's get this article. Let's read the title of it. We're going to try to get through it. If we got to jump, we're going to jump. Let's read the title of this thing. Let's see what this says. Let's scroll up to that title of this article. Let's get the title.
Woman leading a double life as happy as she has ever been.
Oh, Lord, help me. Lord, help me. It said, woman living a double life as happy as she has ever been. That don't even make sense. Scroll down, start at Lauren.
Lauren has been married for more than 30 years.
How long?
Lauren has been married for more than 30 years.
This woman has been married for more than 30 years. Keep that in mind, Israel. Keep that in mind as we read that. Read on.
She has children and grandchildren.
She has children and grandchildren. Read.
This is her story. My husband and I married young. I stayed home to raise the children. We were the neighborhood cleavers. We had the perfect house, the perfect children. I was the perfect wife, the perfect mom. I was happy in my marriage, at least on the surface.
Say that. Read that last part again. What that say?
I was happy in my marriage, at least on the surface.
On the surface level, there are a lot of brothers and sisters. They be appearing one way, but they be a whole nother way underneath the surface. Keep reading. Let's see what happens.
But I always knew I was missing something very important.
Read on.
Yes, I love my husband, but I knew the day I got married, it was a mistake.
That don't even make sense. How you go through a whole marriage ceremony and then 30 years later you say something like that? That's why you supposed to prove a friend. But that's not what we talk. We ain't talking about marriage today. Keep reading.
I just didn't know why. I didn't figure it out until the day I had lunch with an old grammar school classmate.
Hold on. Read that one more time.
I didn't figure it out until the day I had lunch with an old grammar school classmate.
That don't even make sense. You're a married woman and you decide to go have lunch with an old grammar school classmate. I know the term is different in other states. That's elementary. Why would you go find somebody from elementary school? At least high school. High school is a bit fresher. You might see some of them. How did you even find somebody from elementary school? That means she already had those thoughts in her mind, those wicked, evil thoughts in her brain. How do you bump into somebody from elementary school and set up a lunch date? Keep reading.
We had email back and forth for 2 years.
So she emailed another man back and forth for 2 years while she's been married for 30 years with children and grandchildren. Keep reading.
Just innocent, chatty.
Sisters, there's no such thing as innocent communication with a man that's not your husband. Same thing, brothers. There's no such thing as innocent communication with a woman that is not your wife. Keep reading.
Chatty emails about our lives and families. He was married with children too.
So they both wicked as hell. Both married with children and talking to each other on the sneak tip. Keep reading.
There was never any flirting and certainly no thoughts of cheating. I would never have been considered such a thing. I never, ever thought I would stray from my marriage.
Keep reading.
We decided to meet for lunch one day, and suddenly I knew I found the something I was missing. I didn't let my feelings be known to him, and I tried to bury them from myself. We continued our platonic emails, and then one day he told me he had feelings for me. It confused me. It scared me, and I wanted to run, but I couldn't. We met again and talked. We met several more times to talk, and the feelings continued to grow. We discussed the problems we would encounter should we choose to act on our feelings. We knew that although we wanted to be together, neither of us could leave our families. He had a wife and children. They were his responsibility. I had a husband and family who depended on me.
I know this is written in the article, but y'all got to understand the depths of how much work both of they wicked behind got to do to hide this affair that they have. And she claimed when they first started talking, there wasn't no feelings. That's exactly why you don't talk to the opposite sex. Because eventually it's going to kindle a fire, and then the only way to quench the fire, y'all got to fulfill the lust that y'all have for each other. Keep reading.
We both did a lot of soul searching. We decided to settle for what we could have, and we finally took the plunge. We had a chance for happiness, and we took it. We've been together for over 3 years now. We see each other once a week, sometimes more if we're lucky, and email daily. This may be all we ever have, but I'm with him for the long haul.
Do y'all hear this? This is a woman who's been married for 30 years, secretly emailing another man. And she got children, grandchildren. People know them. They seen as an example of a good family. Keep reading. We should be able to scroll to the very end of this because I want to be able to see how much we got too. How much we got because we might jump. Oh, yeah, this damn thing is long. Now that I'm looking at it. We going to jump down to, for sake of time, I know how it sounds cliche.
I know how it sounds cliche to say I don't want to hurt his wife or my husband.
How do you, she talking about some, I know how it sounds cliche. That don't even make sense. You an imbecile. That don't make no sense. How can you even say something like that? But I want y'all to look at how much sneaking, how much lying do she got to do? How much hiding phones and tablets and stuff that she got to do so her husband don't see the emails? Lying so she could be alone and get on the email and email him. That's too much work. Read.
I know how it sounds cliche to say I don't want to hurt his wife or my husband, but I truly mean it.
Yeah, right.
They need us, and we have responsibilities we must honor.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts that I can't have a daily life with him. It hurts that when he's sick, I'm not by his side. It hurts that if he died, I wouldn't know it unless I read his obituary.
Last paragraph. Read it.
I hate the word cheating.
How? Read.
Cheating denotes wrong and shameful behavior.
That's wrong and shameful behavior. She's so bugged out, she trying to call her affair something else. Read.
But I don't feel wrong and shameful.
Uh-huh.
I feel married to this man.
You can't make this up, man. Read.
In fact, I feel more married to him than to my husband.
That don't make no logical sense. But we went here to look at a woman who is living a double life. And she's so delusional, she's trying to justify her living this double life. Don't forget what it said at the top. She's been married for more than 30 years. She has children and grandchildren. People know them. They supposed to be the example of a good married couple, and she doing this. That's too much work. Same thing. I'm bringing it back to us in this truth. Nobody in this truth should be going through these lengths. You came in this truth saying you're going to serve God. Serve God for real, not just in here. Serve God outside of here. Be who you say you are. Get Sirach 1:29. You can drop this. Sirach 1:29. That's an example of a woman. We're going to keep going. And we're going to dig into the psyche of these people. Why do they do that? Some brothers and sisters have been caught doing this, living a double life, not being who they profess to be, being two different people. We cannot be two different people. Remember what the first clip was about. In order to build a holy nation, a righteous nation, we got to have integrity. That's being who you are when the lights and the cameras are off. Sirach 1:29.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 29. Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest.
Read.
Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so God discover thy secrets, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit.
What is that saying? Going along with what we're talking about, what is that saying? A double life is a life of hypocrisy. That's what that's saying, because you profess yourself to be this person. You profess yourself to be a changed woman, a changed man, but behind closed doors, you are somebody else. That's a life of hypocrisy. We're going to keep digging deep into this. Romans 2:21. You say one thing, but you somebody totally different. That's a double life. That's a life of hypocrisy. You guys, sister be rebuking family members on Facebook, posting scriptures and all this, but then during the week you at the club. That don't make no sense. You in here with the garment on, but when you outside of here, you got tight ass clothes on with your worldly girlfriends. That don't make sense. Romans 2:21.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 2 and verse 21. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations. And their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, and they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God.
2:21. 2, you in 1. 2:21.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 2 and verse 21. Thou therefore, which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself?
So Paul is asking the Pharisees a rhetorical question. You teach others. Do you teach yourself? The things that you say, do you apply it? Read.
Thou that preachest a man should not steal, doest thou steal? Thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery, doest thou commit adultery?
Read.
Thou that abhorrest idols, doest thou commit sacrilege? Sacrilege?
You telling people don't commit adultery, but are you committing adultery? You telling people don't sacrifice to idols. You hate idols. That's what abhor means, to hate idols. Are you worshiping idols? Read.
Thou that makest thy boast of the law, through breaking the law dishonorest thou God?
He said, you make your boasts of the law, but through dishonor, Y'all, you break God's law and you dishonor God's law. What's going on here? What is he saying? So in this chapter, Paul's addressing the Pharisees. These is people that know the law. He's asking them, do they practice what they preach? Same question to all of us. Do we practice what we preach? This cannot just be something that you do on the Sabbath, brothers and sisters. This got to be who you are. From there, Matthew 23:25. Matthew 23 and 25. This got to be who you are. You can't keep pretending to be somebody that you're not.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 25.
Read.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye may clean the table of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess.
What you going to see right here, we going to read down to 27. So we're going to start at 25 to 27. What you going to see right here, Christ is going to use the example. The Pharisees, he said, y'all like somebody that clean the outside of a pot, but they don't clean the inside of it. The outside of the pot looks clean. It looks glamorous, but the inside of it is filthy. Read.
Verse 26, thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also.
Read on.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness.
So what is being said right here? Why are we here? When you don't live the life you profess openly, you're just like a Pharisee. Can I get a bomb? That's plain as day. I don't know no other way to say it. I don't know no other way to say it. When you don't live the life that you profess openly, you're just like a Pharisee. We talk about the Pharisees. We even point at pastors and hee-hee-ha-ha. But brothers and sisters, us ourselves up in here, we better be who we profess to be. Or you just like the Pharisees. He used the example of a sepulcher, a fancy grave site. A fancy headstone that looked beautiful, but inside of it is full of dead man's bones. That cannot be us. Or you just like the pastors that you point at and laugh at. You're just like them. Surely we can do better. From there, James 1 and 8. James chapter 1, verse 8.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Read it again.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
You're double-minded. That's why you live a double life. It should be very simple. Righteousness or wickedness. But you're double-minded. You're confused about what it is you want to do, the life you want to live, the man you want to be, the woman you want to be. That's why on the Sabbath you're a mighty prophet, and then when you're not here on the Sabbath, you back to your whoremonger ways. You back to your drug using ways. Some of y'all, you coming in here, you profess to be righteous, but when you're not here, you doing drugs. You got to pick a side. This stuff got to stop. From there, let's get the article, Article 2. Because now we finna dig into the psyche of the people that live double lives and why they do this. Read that title. And then from there, we're going to get Romans 6 and 12. Get Romans 6 and 12. That way, after we get through this article, we're going to hit the rest of our scriptures. We're going to speed it up.
Psychologically, the psychology behind living a double life.
So the psychology behind living a double life. So just like the forefather Solomon, it say Solomon understood the reasonings of men. Why do men do what they do? Even something like somebody living a double life, it's a whole psychology behind it. It's something going on upstairs. Why do they do all of this? Read.
The hidden world of secret identities and dual lies unveiled.
Unveil means they are going to unwrap this, unpack this. They are going to reveal it. Read. Scroll down. Let's start at, go down. Let me see. Let's do unmasking the double life. Let's start right there.
Unmasking the psychology behind living a double life.
Uh-huh.
At its core, the psychology behind living a double life involves leading two separate lives simultaneously, catering to different aspects of an individual's identity. This could range from a businessman who moonlights as a jazz musician to a homeowner managing a secret online venture. Delving into the psychologically behind living a double life, it becomes crucial to understand that individuals often adapt this duality to fulfill various psychological needs. These needs might include a yearning.
Hold on, wait. You reading fast, but we can't run past that point. They just revealed why they do that. And I don't think Israel caught that. Read that one more time. The real world also provides examples of the psychology. Start from right there.
The real.
Oh, did we get to that one? No, we at the top one. I'm sorry. Start over from that last point. Yep.
Delving into the psychology behind living a double life, it becomes crucial to understand that individuals often adapt this duality to fulfill various psychological needs.
To do what?
To fulfill various psychological needs.
So they create a duality. They create a whole nother image, a whole nother persona of themselves. Thank you. A whole nother persona of themselves so they can do what?
To fulfill various psychological needs.
To fulfill various psychological needs. We're going to hit the scriptures in a minute. That's why they do that. They have to create this other persona because it's something they still want to fulfill. It's something that they still want to experience. And they cannot experience it in this duality. As a repenting Israelite man or a repenting Israelite woman, they cannot experience it in this duality, so they must create another one. They must become another person. They must have, okay, this is me on the Sabbath, but I still need to fulfill this need. Read.
These needs might include a yearning for escapism.
A yearning for what?
A yearning for escapism.
A yearning for escapism. They want to escape their current reality. For you, your reality is you have to stand on what the Bible says. So you want to escape that duality. You miss the world. Read.
A thrill for deception.
A thrill for what?
A thrill for deception.
We're going to touch that in a minute. You have a thrill for deception. You want to fool somebody, pull the wool over somebody's eyes. You have a thrill for that. I know something that nobody else knows. I'm doing something that nobody else knows about. Some men, some women, they have a thrill for this. We get into the mind, the reasonings of men, why they do this. Read. A thrill for deception or
a thrill for deception or an outlet for unfulfilled desire.
That's where I wanted us to get to. You have a thrill for unfulfilled desires. Meaning what? You up in here, but it's some desires that's roaming around in that brain of yours that you ain't get to do. Man, I could have did this before I came in. Man, I could have did that, man. Man, why I come in? Why did I repent? I still want to do this. I still want to do that. That stuff still racing around in your brain. So you create that other persona so you could go fulfill it. That double life. A life of deception. That's what you create so you could still fulfill what you lust after. That's what lust and desire mean, the same thing. That's so you can fulfill those other desires. From there, jump down. to examples of the double life phenomenon.
Examples of the double life phenomenon. The phenomenon of living a double life is not confined to fiction. Robert Louis Stevenson's classic novella, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, offers a striking example portraying a character living two distinctively different lives.
So we all familiar with Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. If you was into those type of movies, I think that's under like horror, the monsters and all of that. So outwardly, Dr. Jekyll during the day, he was this charismatic, nice doctor. But then when he would drink these chemicals that he made, he would turn into this lunatic and he would kill everybody. Read on.
Dr. Jekyll, a respected physician by day, transformed into Mr. Hyde, a sinister figure by night.
So jump down, because the other example they give an example of people who live double lives. Like they might have one job, but they got another job that you don't know about. That's not the double life that we talking about. Jump down to psychological dangers of leading a double life.
Psychological dangers of leading a double life. When
This is what's going on in your mind. Read.
While living a double life may
Initially
appear intriguing or liberating, it carries significant psychological perils.
it carries significant psychological perils. Meaning what? You're torn. While you sitting up there standing around everybody laughing, you know you doing wrong. You yourself, you know you doing wrong. Read.
Firstly, managing dual lives can result in immense psychological stress.
They're under stress because they know they not all the way right. Read.
The constant juggling act, maintaining lives, and the fear of exposure can
The fear of what?
The fear of exposure
Uh-huh.
can trigger anxiety and guilt.
Can trigger anxiety and guilt. Read.
Furthermore, individuals living a double life often grapple with identity issues. They may struggle to reconcile their dual lives or experience a sense of fraudulence, leading to lower self-esteem and self-worth. Finally, the consequences of a revealed double life can be devastating. That damage to relationships, reputation, and trust, and often irreversible, causing significant psychological distress.
So from there, we're going to drop this and we're going to go to Romans 6 and 12. Very heavy article, by the way. Very heavy article. But we have more to cover. We're going to dig into that brain of the person living that double life. It said they do this, they create a duality so they can fulfill unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled lusts. Romans 6 and 12. Why do you do that? Let's see.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 12.
Read.
Let not sin, therefore, reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof.
Read it again from the top.
Let not sin, therefore, reign in your mortal body.
Do y'all understand what the word reign means? Reign means to rule. Reign means to control. Reign means to conquer. Reign means whatever entity runs that vessel. So you have this double life to fulfill this unfulfilled desire because that desire runs you. That lust that you have, it still cleaves to you. That lust that you secretly fulfill when you're not around everybody, that lust reigns supreme. That lust is the king of your body. Read it again.
Let not sin, therefore, reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof.
We're not supposed to allow sin to rule over us, but sin rules over you. That's why you have to create this whole other persona so you can still fulfill that lust. Sirach 18 and 30. Because in the article, it talked about what are the end results of living a double life. It said damage of relationships, reputation, families. That's why you got to be who you say you are, brothers and sisters. You cannot keep playing both sides. You cannot keep doing this juggling act. The same person that you profess to be outwardly, you got to be that person when the lights and cameras is off. Sirach 18 and 30. Read.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
Read on.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies that malign thee.
So we are being warned not to go after our lust. Why? Because it will lead to shame and embarrassment. There are people who dislike you. There are people that hate that you have changed, and you bring them nothing but satisfaction when they catch you in some folly, or they see you've been exposed not to be the person that you've been professing to be for all these years, all this time that you've been saying you were Israelite. So you're being warned in that scripture. Don't go after your lusts. From there, Sirach 23 and 3.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 3.
Read.
Lest my ignorances increase and my sins abound to my destruction, I fall before my adversaries, and my enemies rejoice over me.
What is that saying? What is that saying? Read it again.
Lest my ignorances increase and my sins abound to my destruction.
It's people that would love to see you caught up in some folly. But when you go through all of this, all these theatrics of trying to be two different people, and then it come out, you give them satisfaction. I pray that y'all understand that. They love to see when Israel is in some mess, and you put smiles on their face, brothers and sisters. From there, 2 Samuel 12 and 14. You put smiles on people's face when they see that it's an Israelite that got caught up in something. When they see that it was a supposed to be repenting Israelite woman found out to be a whore, found out to be sneaking around with a man that's in the world. But you telling everybody you change. You putting all these posts on your Facebook, yeah, Thanksgiving wicked, this, that, and the third. Proverbs 31 woman. But you out here being a hoe on the side. Read.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 12 and verse 14. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto thee shall surely die.
So Nathan, through the Spirit of the Lord, was letting King David know, because you did all of this stuff, you've brought shame to the nation. You've given them ammunition to speak against us. Are they supposed to be righteous? They got their one true God. Look what this nigga over here doing. That's how you give them something to say, brothers and sisters. We trying to be that beacon of light, that beacon of hope in the world. But we can't be that when you got brothers and sisters living two different lives. You got to think, when King David did that adultery with Bathsheba, you got to think it was a time period. They didn't say if it was a couple of months that stuff was going on, but eventually it came to an end. You don't think people knew what happened? Shame was brought on the nation because of that. From there, 2 Corinthians 6 verse 3. You will bring shame to what you profess to represent. That's why we can't be living no double life. 2 Corinthians 6 and 3.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 3. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed.
You get caught in some wickedness. You know what they do? They blame the whole nation. They say, look, all them niggas like that. Sisters, if you secretly being a hoe, you walk around here with dresses and skirts, you know what men will say about you? Oh, man, them bras with them dresses, they ain't no different. You can still smash them. That's what they'll say. Brothers, you got your fringes on, and you up here smashing women that's in the world. You sitting up here getting on the women with the pants, but then you smashing them. That don't make sense. And you know what they say? Oh, yeah, them niggas, they ain't different. They still niggas. They not supposed to be putting us in the same box with Christians. I'm going to say it again. They are not supposed to be putting us in the same box with Christians. But they will if this type of behavior continues to go on. And we can't allow that. From there. Go to video 2. Video 2 now. Brothers, this could be you. You want to secretly be a whoremonger? This could be you. Timestamp 00 to 412. And we might not even play it that long, because I want to make sure we hit the rest of our points. Let's make sure sound is on and all that. Before we play it, Soldier Apollos, read that title. Can you see it? Okay, we got the disclaimer on it. Can you see it? He ain't going to be able to see because we got the disclaimer on. I'll read it for sake of time. It says, pastor caught cheating on wife with a prostitute. Now, it says pastor, but this could very well be one of you brothers in here. These women in the world will put you on blast if you piss them off and you make them mad. That's all it takes. Press play. What does the prostitute do? Press play.
Where you going, Joe?
Get me off this damn.
You ain't paid me my money.
Get me off this goddamn
You ain't
camera.
paid me my money. I'll get you off this camera when you give me my money. 15 minutes, 125. You know the drill. How many times a week we meet up, Joe? This time, really, you think we finna? No, I'm sorry. Your wife gonna see this. Your wife is gonna see this. Pay me my money or get a divorce. Which one is gonna be?
Get me off this damn.
Which one is it gonna be?
Get me off that damn.
She's gonna know.
Get me off the damn.
3-4 times a week he here, y'all. Facebook, he's here meeting with me in this room. Yeah.
Get me off that damn.
No, I'm not getting you off for nothing. Everybody gonna know about you. Run me my money. I ain't got time for this. You know my money is valuable. I'm sorry. You know my time is my money, and I'm explaining my time with you.
I gave you $200 last time.
And you got $200 worth of pleasure the last time too.
Let me pay you when I get home.
No,
Right.
no. You ain't gave me nothing extra. You got extras. I'm sorry. No. Absolutely not.
I can't.
This ain't happening. You're not leaving, Joe.
Get me off that damn camera.
No.
Get me off
When you give me my money, I'll get you off the camera. You're getting a divorce. What you're gonna get is a divorce.
Get me off that damn
Everybody
camera.
on Facebook is gonna see this. Yes, his name is
Pause
Joe.
it real
They should
quick.
know who you
Pause.
are.
Okay, y'all got me in the corner. I want y'all to understand that man is on Facebook Live. His reputation, whatever reputation he had before that, is done. His double life is on display for everybody. That could happen to you, brothers and sisters. That's all it takes. Sister professing to be godly, righteous, you in offices, you doing this, you doing that. And then, because we be finding clips for class. A wild party clip. The camera pan and you got on something that you're not supposed to have. Now you got to explain yourself. That's on Facebook Live. You know, after something gets shared so many times, you don't know who shared it. It's been shared hundreds of times. Everybody, whoever his friends, whoever the friends of the prostitute is, they see this. His marriage is done. His life is done. That's the destruction of a double life. And that voice kind of deep. That voice is kind of deep. I'm going to say it again. So you don't know, Soldier Apollo say Mordecai, you don't know what that pastor was really into behind closed doors. The prostitute said they meet 2 to 3 times a week. So he had a whole duality, like the article said. He had a whole nother persona because he had unfulfilled desires. He was fulfilling on the side. Now it's open for all to see. You could drop that. Job 24, verse 15. That could very well be one of us. If we are living a double life, man and women. Job 24:15. We're going to fly through these scriptures.
This is the book of Job, chapter 24 and verse 15.
Read.
The eye also of the adulterer waited for the twilight, saying, no eye shall see me, and distinguish his face. In the dark thy dig through houses, which they had marked for themselves in the daytime.
Stop at 17.
They know not the light, for the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. For if one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death.
That's verse 17?
Yes, sir.
So this is the mindset of the man or the woman who is living a double life to commit adultery. You put on disguises, you change your clothes, you hide your location, you go out late night so nobody sees you, because to get caught in the morning is like death to you. God said it's like death to you. Get Sirach 23:18. But this what y'all don't understand when y'all be doing this stuff in the dark. Let me show you something. Sirach 23 verse 18, read from 18 to 22, stop at 22.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 18.
This what y'all don't understand, brothers and sisters.
A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me?
That's what y'all say. Who sees me? The people up in here, they don't see me. They don't know what I'm doing. Read.
I encompass about with darkness.
I did it late night. Nobody knows. Read.
The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? And the Most High would not remember my sins.
Read.
Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Beholding all the ways of men, considering the most secret parts.
God sees everything we do. It says his eyes are brighter than the sun, 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So it don't matter if we don't see what you doing here. God sees everything that you do, everything. Read.
He knew all things ever they were created. So all after they were perfected, he looked upon them all.
So also after they were perfected. Read that again.
He knew all things ever they were created.
Read.
So also after they were perfected, he looked upon them all. This man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and where he suspecteth not, he shall be taken.
That man or that woman will be judged. Read.
Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband, and bringeth in an heir by another.
An heir by another. That's heir. Bringing in another man's heir. So from there, what is that saying? This is the mind of a person living a double life. They believe they are getting away with something, but you're so wrong. Proverbs 15:3. I'm about to show you something. I'm showing you something right now. We showing you something right now. You're not getting away with nothing. Like the scripture just said, you fear the eyes of men. That's why you hide texts. That's why you hide emails. That's why you lie about where you're going. Because you fear the eyes of man. You don't want man to see. But God just looking down from the heavens, recording everything that you do. I'm sorry, the angels are recording everything that you do and bringing it back to the Most High. Read.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
Why? Because the angels roaming, they see. The angels see and they, hey, Lord, look what he doing down here. The Most High see everything. Read it again.
The eyes of the Lord are in every place.
It didn't say some places. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. So it don't matter if you skip town. Read it again.
The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
Watching everything from there. Proverbs 5:21.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 21.
Read.
For the ways of men are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth on all his goings.
God ponders, watches everything that we do. That's why when you hear about this stuff, it don't be making sense. Damn, you lied about this, you lied about that. Damn, just you skip town just to go over here and do this act. That's too much work. Some brothers and sisters won't even put that much work in for the Most High business. But you see they do all of these antics to commit sin. From there, drop that. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. This is what we don't understand. We're going to hit these next 3 scripts, then we're going to get video 3. And then we're going to continue to dig into that psyche. Because it's a psyche. It's a mindset. We digging into it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter
12 and 14.
Chapter 12 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
For God shall bring every work into judgment.
I hope this class scare you. I hope it puts some fear into you. It said God is going to bring every work, every action into judgment. Everything we've did in this life, he's going to bring it into judgment. Read.
With every secret thing.
Every secret thing. Because when men and women live double lives, that's their secret identity. That's their secret life that they live. I read one article. A man had just married a woman 4 months ago. And then he saw her phone. She got a text message that said, hi, honey, Mila misses you. And then he found a shoebox full of receipts of purchases of toys and stuff. Come to find out, that woman had a whole other damn family and married the man. That's too much work. Too much lying. Being 2 different people is too much. And then it'll lead to your destruction in the end. Read.
For God shall bring every work into judgment. With every secret thing. Whether it be good or whether it be evil.
2 Corinthians 5 and 10. We will answer for everything that we have done. That's what that scripture just said. We will have to answer for everything that we have done. I don't know what's more terrifying than that. You're going to stand before the Most High, and you're going to have to give account for your deeds. All the stuff you thought you was getting away with, you're going to have to answer for it. 2 Corinthians 5 and 10.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Read.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ.
We all will appear before the judgment seat of Christ. We all going to sit in that seat, and we going to have to give account. Read.
That everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he had done, whether it be good or bad.
We will receive judgment for the things that we have done in this body. So don't think you're going to act a fool when you in this flesh, and then you're going to go to the kingdom and everything is forgotten and not. No. If you are wicked in this life, you are not getting the kingdom, and you're going to answer for your wickedness. Understand that. Sirach 17 and 19. And then get video 3.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 19. Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways.
Read that one more time.
Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him.
The Bible said all of our actions is like the sun before the Most High. It don't matter well, the sun is sitting in the sky. You can see it. You can't not see the sun. That's how all our actions are before him. Everything that you think you get away with, everything that you think everybody up in here don't see, God sees it all. And what else?
And his eyes are continually upon their ways.
And his eyes are continually upon your ways. He knows what you do in secret. He knows the wickedness that you conjure in your mind. He knows how you set up your sneaky links. And then you waltz up in here and sister, shalom. Brothers, shalom, Most High in Christ. He know what you do. It don't matter if nobody in here see. He sees everything. Video 3, here's another example. And then from there, get 1 John 4 and 1.
Jennifer Faison met her future husband, Spencer Herron, in college. He would go on to become a high school teacher, earning the coveted Teacher of the Year award in Georgia. But their happy facade came crashing down just 7 years into their marriage when Jennifer discovered Spencer was leading a secret double life. She tells her story in her #1 podcast, Betrayal, and reveals to us the moment she uncovered the ugly truth.
It was absolutely devastating. This person that I thought I knew, none of it was real. And it just shattered everything. An instant, everything changed. I walked in and there was this search warrant that said sexual assault and student. And 20 minutes later, the police were at our door arresting my husband.
Spencer had been a teacher at a local high school for 16 years. Jennifer described their marriage as a fairy tale. But what she didn't know was that her husband was having sex with an underage student for years.
I was disgusted, taking advantage of a child, someone that trusted you.
The first thing he said to me was, "I've never done this with a student. I've never felt this way about anyone."
I got to meet with the victim, the student, and I was incredibly nervous. But I also knew that this is a really brave young soul. I truly believed there was going to be healing done in these conversations.
Spencer pled guilty to 5 counts of assault, but Jennifer started her own investigation into how this all happened without her knowledge and made a horrifying discovery.
I call it his trophy case. It was an entire catalog of emails and correspondence with women years and years and years.
I think I found at least 80 different women that he was corresponding with in some way over the 7 years that we were together.
So Jennifer confronted Spencer.
This is a direct pay call from an inmate at the Cherokee County Jail, Georgia.
It's an interesting conversation. I don't know if he realizes yet the severity of the situation.
Jennifer said the decision to talk about her story wasn't an easy one, but necessary.
It was important to tell because, A, that predator out there can be the teacher of the year. It can be that local celebrity, but also it's important for victims to know that it's okay to speak up and be heard.
You can drop that. From there, get 1 John 4:1. This is why, brothers and sisters, you should not be quick to jump on people. 1 John 4:1.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4 and verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
You got to prove people. Everyone is not who they say they are. Sirach 6 and 7. Everyone is not who they say they are. That man was living a double life, and nobody knew he was into that foul stuff. Messing with underage girls. A high school teacher, been at the school for 16 years. Nobody knew. That could be somebody up in here. You got a whole different life that you live when you ain't up in here. Read that. Sirach 6 and 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
Read.
And be not hasty to credit him.
That don't just apply to your spouse. That applies to people in general. You need to prove people, get to know people. Or this type of stuff can happen to you. From there, get Matthew 7 and 16.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
You will know people by their actions. Don't listen to what people say. Look at their actions. It'll show you who they are. Video 4. Let's get the first timestamp. Let's get the first timestamp. So video 4, we got a couple timestamps. We got a couple. We gonna get through them. If we got to skip, I'll let you know. So now we went through all of that to get to this video. This video is gonna break down the mind of the person that lives the double life. Watch this. Play.
They lead. I'm going to be sharing 2 main reasons why they do this, and also some red flags you can look out for to determine if someone is living a double life. So stay with me until the end. Okay, narcissists live a double life in multiple ways, especially the covert narcissists, as they pretend to be one person in public and another person in private. They are the heroes in public and the villains in private. But they also sometimes live a double life by having more than one romantic relationship, where for each person they are two different people because they live two different lives. And it's because narcissists love keeping secrets. It allows them to have an extra sense of control, knowing they know something you don't. The narcissist is always hiding something or someone. So it should be no...
It said they love to keep secrets. They love having information that other people don't. They love having that one up on somebody. This type of person, they spirit not right. That's what you understand, and their mind is not right. You not right in the brain. From there, that's the second time stamp or the first? First, let's finish it up.
Surprised that narcissists are prone to be unfaithful to their partners. Because once the love bombing phase is over and the narcissist has secured their prize, it is time to find a fresh, new, interesting source of supply. One romantic source of supply is never enough for the narcissist, so they are always on the prowl looking for another, and they are very good at convincing each and every new supply that they are the one or the perfect fit that the narcissist has been searching for.
Let's go to that second timestamp. Let's go to that second timestamp. I pray y'all are paying attention to this. This is the diabolical mindset of the person that live a double life. And you not only, it's not just a person that lives a double life. You are called by people that study the mind a narcissist. Narcissists only think of themselves. Narcissists are only worried about their needs being met. Next timestamp, play that.
First reason a narcissist would live a double life is the simple fact that it allows them to get more narcissistic supply. Narcissistic supply is at the root of just about everything the narcissist does, and they enjoy the challenge of making someone fall in love with them. It is a massive boost to their ego, so they will always jump at the opportunity to charm, flirt, and seduce. More partners mean more attention and more people to manipulate and control. With these multiple relationships, the narcissist is able to get both the positive and dark forms of narcissistic supply.
Stop. That is somebody that is wicked as hell. Your mind ain't right. You get a thrill out of that. That's a boost to your ego. We digging into the mind state of this person. They love to do this. Jump to the third timestamp. Third timestamp should be 413.
The second reason why narcissists end up with multiple partners is because they are greedy. Narcissists are never satisfied or content with what or who they have.
Damn.
They always
stop
feel
right
they
there.
can
It
do
said
better.
one of the reasons is they are greedy. They are not content with what they have. So if it's marriage, for instance, the woman is not content with the man she has, so she has to go out to create another persona to fulfill her desires. You're not content. You're greedy. You want more than what is given to you. Press play.
Which is what confuses a lot of people, because the narcissist would work hard to secure someone, doing everything to impress this person, giving of their time, energy, and resources. But as soon as they have this person exclusively to themselves, it is no longer as fun or exciting. The narcissist gets bored and now needs a new challenge. With narcissists, new becomes old very quickly. And why just have one partner or one family when they can have 2 or 3 or 1 in every city? The narcissist
Stop right there. We've all heard stories. Like I gave the one from the other article that I was reading with the woman with a whole nother family. We've heard stories of men that had whole other families that the other family didn't know about. They don't know about your secrets till you die and people coming to the funeral. Imagine the shame that's on your name. Or you get exposed like these people we've been showing. Go to the last timestamp.
Life can be stressful, and it's one of the reasons narcissists are always on edge. They have so many secrets that they prefer to keep hidden because it makes them feel in control. The narcissist creates their own problems due to their blind, selfish desires, which on one hand feeds their ego, but on the other hand leaves them paranoid and fearful. Narcissists keep secrets that would expose their true identity and their lack.
There. Narcissists keep secrets that would expose their identity, who they truly are. Because if people found out what they truly are and what they are truly into, it would show you that their spirit. It would show you what their spirit is. What is the spirit of this woman? What is the spirit of this man? Damn, that's what you like to do? Damn, that's what you into? It would expose them. So they hide all these secrets. This is the mind state of the person that lives the double life. It's you brothers and sisters that watch porn. You sitting in here, shalom, shalom, you doing all this, and nobody know you are an avid porn watcher. Until your phone fall, and it just so happened to be Safari up, and they see the last thing you was looking at, or somebody asks to see your phone, brother or sister, to make a phone call, and there's some on your phone that ain't supposed to be there. That's how the Lord will do. That is how the Lord will do. But that's your secret. You can't be 2 different people. If you righteous and repentant, you shouldn't be up here looking at no pornography. Because that's something that you would be ashamed if somebody knew you was doing. That's just an example. We could drop this. So we see the mind state of the person. Get now Proverbs 8 and 36. Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 36.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 36.
Read.
But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
These people are self-destructive. Why are they self-destructive? They hate God's laws and they love death. I'm going to say it again. They hate God's laws and they love death. So fulfilling that sin is more important than serving God. That's all that is with y'all. Fulfilling that sin is more important than God. That's why you live that double life, so you can still fulfill it. Sirach 19 and 4. Let's get some more. We got a couple more scriptures.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 4. He that is hasty to give credit is light-minded.
God said if you're hasty to credit people, you've barely gotten to know them, you're light-minded, meaning you're simple, you're dumb. Read.
And he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul.
You destroy your own self when you sin. That's what we don't understand. From there, get Sirach 3 and 26. You are bringing harm to your own self. It just said the narcissists create their own problems. You bring harm to your own self. All that shame, all that devastation that you're going to experience from living this double life that you live, you've brought it on your own self, brothers and sisters. Read.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 26. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth dangers shall perish therein.
Read it again.
A stubborn heart that fare evil at the last.
So when it says a stubborn heart that fare evil at the last, that stubborn person has an unyielding spirit. And because they got that unyielding spirit, they don't want to conform to God's laws, bad things is going to happen to them. And then it said, what at the bottom?
And he that loveth danger shall perish therein.
You love danger, you will die. That danger is talking about you going against the Most High. You willingly going out here committing acts that you know go directly against the scriptures. You know God's judgments. You're going to die. That's what that's telling you. From there, drop that. Go to Proverbs 14 and 12. Those that live a double life, you love danger. You know in the back of your mind, this stuff you doing, God will kill you. You messing around, chasing hoes, you know you could end up getting HIV, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, or trying to buy prostitutes and it be a tranny. You a woman, you out here, hot girl summer. You could catch an STD, get pregnant by some nigga and left with a baby. Or go off with some Negro and he beat the hell out of you. That'll be your judgment. Read.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
So it seems like everything good, but you brothers and sisters that are living a double life is going to end in destruction. It seems like everything good, you getting away with it, nobody knows, but it's going to end in destruction. From there, Sirach 9 and 12. Sirach chapter 9 and verse 12.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 12. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in.
We are not to delight in the things that the ungodly enjoy doing. We are not to be happy about chasing hoes, doing drugs, wild, lewd parties. We not supposed to be happy about doing that stuff. We are supposed to delight in the Most High God, in the laws of God. Read.
But remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave.
Nobody is going to get away with anything that they do. Understand that. You either going to get punished now or you going to get punished in the last days. You're going to get punished when you got to stand before the Lord. Let me be clear. You're going to get punished now or you're going to get punished later. You will answer for everything that you do. From there, Matthew 10 and 30. And I pray these scriptures sink into your minds because you think you fooling somebody. All you doing, you shaming this movement. You shaming yourself. You destroying yourself because that sin reigns in you. That's why you have to create this other personality so you can still fulfill it. And it's going to lead to your destruction in the end. Matthew 10 and 30.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 30.
Read.
But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are more valued than many sparrows.
You know, when I look at this scripture, right, when we read this scripture, it says God knows how many hairs is on your damn head. And you think he don't know what you do in the dark? It don't make sense. He knows every number of hair I have on my head. Surely he know what I do throughout the week. We don't think about that. He sees everything that you do, brothers and sisters. Proverbs 5 and 22. He sees everything that you do. Don't worry about man. God is going to kill your behind because you think you're doing something in secret. You just hiding it from man. You willingly breaking God's commandments. And you think you're going to get away with it. And you're not.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 22.
Read.
His own iniquities shall take the wicked himself.
God said your own sins will take you. Read.
and he shall be holden with the cords of his sin.
That's why you got a double life. That's why you keep sneaking and going to go commit that sin, because it has a hold on you. It reigns. It rules over you. You come to the side and then you go off to the side and then you commit that sin again. And you keep doing it over and over and over and over. You hiding passwords. You hiding cell phone, iPad, tablet. You lying to people. All to continue to commit that sin because it has a hold on you. Read on.
Verse 23, he shall die without instruction.
What did the Bible say?
He shall die without instruction.
The Bible says you will die without instruction. Read on.
And in the greatness of his folly, he shall go astray.
This is what will happen to you. Why? Because you're bound with that sin. You're wrapped up in that sin. From there, get 2 Peter 2, verse 14. You can't stop because that sin is your God. That's why in the dark, in the secret, that's why you still do it. That's why you set up times to continue to commit that sin, because that sin is your God. We're not talking about people that's fighting, because we all fighting something. We talking about you who secretly, behind closed doors, you still committing these vile acts. And then it come out later, and now you shamed and embarrassed. But you've been doing this in secret.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
Having eyes full of adultery,
Uh-huh.
and that cannot cease from sin.
You got to think about this. Once you give into the sin, you don't know if you're going to stop. Some of us may have this foolish thought that, oh, I'm going to just do something, and then I'm going to come back. No. It said having eyes full of adultery, which cannot cease from sin. You can't stop. The sin is going to become an addiction, and you're going to do it nonstop. Read on.
Beguiling unstable souls.
These same type of people, they pull foolish people in, and they follow behind them. Read.
In heart, they have exercised with covetous practices.
Uh-huh.
Cursed children.
What are they?
Cursed children.
Read.
Which have forsaken the right way and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness, and he was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass, speaking with man's voice, forbade the madness of the prophet. These are wells without water.
They don't have no wisdom. The water is the laws of God. Read.
Clouds that are carried with a tempest, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever.
Well, we got to understand, as sad as that is, some people are destined for destruction. Some people are destined for destruction. Walk in charcoal. You be sitting back like, why? How you just going to keep doing that? Maybe some of you are that person. Maybe you are what we reading here. We don't know. From there, Jude 13, I pray these scriptures put some fear into you, because none of us should want to be this. It said, cursed children they are destined for destruction. What we just read. They can't cease from sin. That means you're not going to stop. So, if you're not going to keep God's laws, he got to kill you. Read Jude 13.
This is the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 13. Raging waves of the sea, foaming at their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever.
You're reserved for the second death. That is what that's talking about. You are reserved for the lake of fire. God is saving you for the lake of fire. You refuse to stop sinning. You refuse to change your ways. You keep on shaming the ministry. So God is going to save you for the fire. He's going to save you for that hell and death. From there, get Daniel 12 and 1. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1. And at the time shall Michael stand up, and the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time, to that same time.
Hold on. That's that destruction that the Bible been talking about from cover to cover. That's that time of trouble that ain't nobody ever witnessed. Nobody ever witnessed this type of trouble that the Bible is talking about. Read.
And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone.
The righteous will be delivered. Read on.
Everyone that shall be found written in the book.
You want to be written in the book. The righteous will be written in the book. But somebody that continue to sin, they not going to be written in the book. I want to keep saying that. I'm not talking about a person that is stumbling. They're fighting to rule over their flesh. They battling different demons. I'm not talking about somebody like that. We are talking about people that are willingly sinning constantly over and over and over and over and over and over and thinking they getting away because nobody in here see. You keep on. This is going to be your fate. Let's read what your fate will be. Read.
Verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life.
That's what we want. We want to wake up to everlasting life. No more pain, no more sickness, no more death, no more sorrow. That's what we all want to wake up to. I know I do. But what will be the fate of the person that says, to hell with God's laws? They know God's judgment already, but they go and sin anyway. Read.
And some to shame and everlasting contempt.
That's your fate, brother or sister. That's your fate. You want to live this secret double life. You want to put on this facade and act like you changed, but keep on breaking God's laws. This will be your fate. You will wake back up to everlasting torment. Now, let's move to this last article. This last article. Read the title. Don't give up the ghost, soldier.
The psychology of a double life.
The psychology of a double life. We going back into the mind. You like, damn, there's more. Yes, there's more on this mindset of these type of people. Let's see. Scroll up. Scroll down, scroll down. When I say down, I mean to the rest of the information. Where we at? Right there. Recent studies, the psychology.
The psychology. Recent studies show that 70% of all males and 50% of all females will have an extramarital affair at some point during their marriage. This information suggests that most people will eventually lead a double life. According to Dr. Sherry Turkle, a sociologist at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, some people use online interactive games like Sims Online to create families and communities that they wish they had. She believes that there is deep psychological meaning in how persons are using online identities to express problems and attempts to solve them in relatively consequence-free environment.
So these type of people, they use the sim game as an example, but these type of people, they want to create an environment where they will not suffer consequences to fulfill they unfulfilled desires. That's why they had a double life. Scroll back up to case studies now. Case studies. More persons than you will imagine have literally gone down a path of destruction. A path of what?
A path of destruction.
These are people that study this. It's a path of destruction. You doing all this to fulfill a lust. Read.
As a result of a secret life that spiral out of control.
It will spiral out of control. Understand that. It will spiral out of control at some point. Read.
Many of these persons were considered to be respectable members of the communities before the truth was revealed.
Read that one more time.
Many of these persons were considered to be respectable members of their communities before the truth was revealed.
Before their reputation was destroyed, they were considered pillars of the community. Brothers and sisters, y'all don't understand all this great work you doing. People looking like, man, look at them women. I don't know them women in the purple. I don't know them or nothing, but man, they so polite. Look how they dress. They ain't got their butt out. This is what people are saying about you. Then the men, people are happy to see us marching through their communities, uplifting the black men and they're uplifting the Hispanic man, the native man, being an example of what a real man is. But God forbid we be in some stuff like this. You throw it all down the drain because it's all centered around a person trying so hard to continue to fulfill their lusts. Read.
Some notable examples are a respected pediatrician with a small child and a dutiful stay-at-home wife was regularly sneaking off at night to bars. Rendezvousing with prostitutes, even getting into fights with some of their pimps.
Do y'all hear that? These are examples. He's known as a respected pediatrician. So he's a children's doctor, has a good stay-at-home wife. He's the picture-perfect example. But behind closed doors, he goes to night bars with prostitutes and get into fights with their pimps over him. This can't be us. Read the other case study examples. Hold on. Yeah, yep.
Famed architect Louis Kahn had a wife and daughter. But he also had 2 other children secretly by 2 mistresses.
This is the type of stuff we read in examples. But things will take place and you'll be like, damn, I thought, man, the way this sister was up in here, I thought that she was same stuff. How you got men saying they laid with you, but you supposed to be repentant, dress on. How are you getting caught in places you shouldn't be? How are people finding out you're watching porn? Child porn, animal porn. How is people finding this stuff out with you? Why does this have to be you? You're supposed to represent something. But you don't when you do this. You don't represent what you profess when you do this. You go through all of this, living this double life to fulfill that unfulfilled desire, that itch you never got to be able to scratch. That's the mindset. That's the psyche that we dug into tonight. Read.
Renowned Chief Justice Judge Sol Wachtler is accused of resorting to blackmail, extortion, and threats of kidnapping when his former lover ended their affair.
This man was supposed to be somebody, a chief justice judge soldier, was accused of blackmail and extortion and threats of kidnapping when his former lover ended the affair. You got a whole title of a chief, I got to read it again, chief justice soldier. That's what you're supposed to be. But you threatening your former lover when they end the affair? This can't be named among us, brothers and sisters. We can't be getting caught up like this, shaming the ministry. We have to be who we say we are. Read.
Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, appeared in public into his wife of 13 years to be a good husband, father, and employee. But in his double life, he had assaulted and murdered at least 48 women.
This is the type of stuff that be going on with people. And these was case study examples that they gave. We cannot be caught up in these things. You shatter. What you do is you staining the good things that we doing. That's why you got to get away from us when you get caught up in this stuff. But you shadow whatever character that you perceive to have had. I thought this brother was like this. How he been doing this all this time? We ain't talking about somebody they fighting and then something happen. We talking about somebody have a whole just web of deception for months and nobody know. You hid this from everybody. You come to here, shalom, Most High Christ, shalom, Most High, and this what you doing on the side. Jump down to fears.
The fears. Someone whose secret have become a secret life.
Read that again. Read it right.
Someone whose secrets have become a secret life will usually avoid revealing the truth to family and friends because they are afraid of rejection.
Next.
Judgment.
Uh-huh.
Loss of reputation and income.
Next.
Incarceration.
All those things gonna happen to you depending on what you're doing. You shouldn't even be going down this road anyway. We already revealed why you going down the road. It's to fulfill a lust. Jump down the dangers.
The dangers. The longer someone leads a double life, the more serious the consequences can become.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes in an effort to keep secrets activities from being revealed, persons go to unimaginable lengths to protect themselves.
Read that.
Such efforts can include lying, stealing, abandonment of family members, suicide, even murder.
That's it on that. So these are the lengths that a person will go to protect that secret double life. But again, you're going to do all of that and you still going to receive hellfire. You're still going to receive punishment. You're still going to receive judgment from the Most High God. Get Revelation 20, verse 11, last scripture. You do all of this, and then you standing before the Most High. It don't make sense. Just keep God's commandments or just go be a full-fledged nigga. I don't understand all of the work. I don't understand all the stuff that these people go through when they doing all of this. It makes no sense. Be who you say you are. If you going to be a nigga, go be a nigga. That's what Christ was saying. If you going to be cold, be cold. If you going to be hot, be hot. But to do all of this, have a double life, all these secrets, you lying and all of this, all for what? To be destroyed in the end. Revelation 20:11. This got to be the most terrifying scripture in the Bible.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 11.
Read.
And I saw a great white thorn, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away.
That's the Lord. So now what we talking about, this is judgment time. This is judgment time. It ain't no, wait a minute, I ain't ready. Wait a minute. Is it? We got some more? No, ain't none of that. Ain't no more time. It's judgment time. The Lord is sitting on the throne. It say, this is the one who earth and heaven fled away from. When he touched the scene, ain't nobody got nothing to say. I'm painting the picture for you. Read.
And there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God.
Them last things they said, these people that live a double life, they will lie, they will cheat, they will steal. I'm probably missing some of them. It said, what you say?
Murder.
They will murder people, and what else did it say?
Incarceration. No, abandonment.
Yep. BT. All praise for BT. All praises. Suicide. This just said the dead. Read it again. What did it just say?
And I saw the dead, small and great.
The dead, small and great. So even if you off yourself, you're not getting away from this judgment. This should terrify you. This is one of the most terrifying scriptures to me, because at this point, it ain't no more talking. Read.
Stand before God, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life.
So you got your book with all of your deeds, everything that you've done, and then you got the Bible. The Lord is going to compare everything that you did with the Bible. Read.
And the
Now wait. You want to know why it's books? because we all got angels that's writing down everything that we do and they go back to the Lord. So you got to think about that. All that stuff that you thought you was hiding, you really wasn't hiding it. It was getting documented. Nobody in here, and I keep pointing in here because this is what you're trying to hide everything from. It don't matter. You're going to be judged for it. Read.
And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and the death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works.
Read.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
You got to ask yourself which one you want. You continue to live this double life. You continue to willingly break God's laws. I'm not talking to nobody that don't know. I'm not talking about our people in the world. I'm talking about us in this truth. How you hear classes on judgment. You hear classes on how we going to pay for our deeds, and you willingly go out here because there's no fear of God in you. But in this day, it's going to be fear. In this day, it's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. But that's going to conclude the class. I pray that this put fear in all of us. I pray it make us examine ourselves. All right? 12 tribes worldwide. Most High in Christ bless.